I want to start this video with a bit of a disclaimer because what I'm about to share is highly frowned upon by the mindfulness and spirituality community. So what I want to talk about today is something that has been requested quite a bit in my meditation video, which I'll link in the top right hand corner of this video. And what it is how do I meditate? How do I practice spirituality and mindfulness? So I'm going to tell you what I do to do all these things. The frowned upon part when it comes to sharing things like that is the fact that it gives expectations. It gives rise to expectations to people that haven't practiced it or are quite new to these mindfulness and spirituality practices. What those expectations do, they make you expect a certain scenario or outcome out of that practice. Expectations will lead to your mind being engaged. You will think about what's happening, what is going to happen, what hasn't happened. You will again start time traveling, and you will be in the shackles of your thinking mind as opposed to slowly moving towards becoming the observer. The reason why we practice mindfulness and spirituality is because we are seeking the truth of what life is, what existence is. Because if you think about it, we're not on this planet to work our asses off for the majority of our lives and then go to our graves feeling like we haven't accomplished anything, unhappy, unsatisfied, living years of stress, anxiety, overwork, overwhelm. This is not the reason why we're here. And this is not the reason why we're experiencing existence. So what we want to try and do is find out the truth of why we exist. What is the purpose of this life? Why does everything exist the way it exists? Why do we see the physical world the way we see it? Why do we experience it that way? Why is now? Why do we experience everything the way we experience? Mindfulness and spirituality is something that allows you to understand that quite well. So, how do I practice mindfulness and spirituality? And again, the way I do it is not necessarily the way you should be doing it. I will try and not share any changes, any impacts that I've had from it. If you want to have a look at what mindfulness and spirituality had done to me and changed me as a person, watch that meditation video. I touch upon it a tiny bit there. One of the most important practices that I do every single day that allows me to practice mindfulness and spirituality is trying to be in a meditative state pretty much 24/7, except for when I sleep, obviously. The way I do this is I try and not give 100% of my attention to the physical world. I try to keep some of the attention to me. I focus on the energy points within my body, which is what helps me keep my attention somewhat within myself. In order to practice this, you can't focus on your hands. Most of the people can focus on feeling their hands, and they will get this bubbly, tingly sensation in their fingertips or the whole hand even. Once you get better at it, you can start feeling your whole arm. Some people like feeling their feet. Some people like feeling their heart. Some people like feeling their crown, because there's a chakra point here just above your head. Just feeling your breath as well is very, very good. But simply feeling what's happening right now, being present within your body. All of your energy fields are within your body. So if you become present within your body, you can become aligned with those energies. The more you get aligned with those energies, the more your inner being will become clear. The more it will open up to you, and the more you will start feeling not your physical body, but your inner being, the presence of your inner being. Now, this is quite a difficult practice, and I always recommend starting with meditation. And once you get better at meditation, you can start being present every single living moment, basically. That's not to say you cannot try and practice it. There's no rule to say that you should start with meditation first of all and then start practicing mindfulness and spirituality daily. There's no set rule. If you can practice mindfulness every single moment, you should. The more you practice it, the happier you will be, the more things will unfold the way they are supposed to unfold, and those things will bring you happiness. It's like a never-ending cycle. The more mindful you become, the more present you become, the more spiritual you become, the happier you will be. It's as simple as that. And explaining that can be very difficult for somebody that doesn't understand spirituality and mindfulness that well, but I guess you will simply have to believe me. Let me put it this way. If you had a friend that was talking to you the same way as your inner chatter talks to you, would you still class them as a friend? Most likely not. Mindfulness and spirituality allows you to control that chatter, disassociate from that chatter, and regain control of the most profound and powerful tool within this universe, your brain, your mind. Mindfulness and spirituality will allow you to engage it whenever it is required and not have to focus on disengaging it whenever it's not required. It's going to flip. It's going to become a useful tool as opposed to you being a tool of your mind. So practicing mindfulness 24/7 is essentially like trying to be in a meditative state. You can meditate while you're walking, you can meditate while you're standing, you can meditate while you're sitting, you can meditate while you're lying down, you can meditate while you're eating, while you're breathing, while you're running, working out, having a conversation, by simply being as present as you can. So that is a very big focus of mine at the moment, to be more present and more mindful of the current moment. The second very important practice that I do is meditation, obviously. Meditation allows you to really narrow your focus on the present moment. Narrowing the focus on the present moment, becoming more aware, will expand your consciousness. So you have to narrow it down to expand. I meditate twice a day. The first meditation being in the morning around 7 a.m., 7 to 8 a.m. when I am fully awake, because it takes me some time to wake up. I usually wake up at about 5 a.m. and by 8 or 7 a.m. I'm ready to meditate because I'm not going to fall asleep. So what I do for meditation in the morning, and again, disclaimer, this works for me. This does not necessarily mean that it will work for you. So in the morning, what I do is for the first 15 minutes, I do the Isha Kriya meditation. It is a meditation that has been made very popular by Sadhguru. And what it consists of is the first 8 to 10 minutes, you have your palms facing upwards on your knees. You raise your head slightly up. That allows you to focus on this bit between your eyebrows, which is essentially your third eye or the pineal gland. Right? The pineal gland is around here at the front, and on the side is somewhere around, like inside your brain, around this location. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it allows you to focus on your third eye and your pineal gland, which are essentially the same thing. And as you're sitting with your palms facing upwards on your knees, if you can, face east, it helps. I find personally it doesn't really make much of a difference, but if you face east, it should help to some people. So your palms face upwards, your head slightly raised, you focus on that point between your eyebrows, on your third eye or pineal gland, what you want to do for the first 10 minutes is, within your mind, as you're inhaling, you say, I am not the body. And as you're exhaling, you say, I am not even the mind. You have to say these sentences throughout the whole duration of the inhale and exhale. Now, once you've done it for roughly 10 minutes, you will do 7 hums. I think you would call them hums. But all it is you go and you do that 7 times. And after that, you keep your palms facing upwards and you just focus on being present. You can focus on your breath. You can continue focusing on that pineal gland. Whatever you want to do, you just focus and you keep your palms up. So that's what I do for the first 15 minutes. The next 30 minutes, what I do is I cross my hands like this, so my fingers go in between each other, and I bend them to create this shape. My thumbs go close together, and I sit like this, my hands going between my legs. I have my legs crossed, keep my back upright, I keep my head slightly raised still, and then I focus on my breath. That's it. For the next 30 minutes, I just focus on my breath. And I don't just focus on the inhale and exhale, I focus on the pauses in between. Once you get better, you can incorporate other parts of your body as well. You can focus on your hands, you can focus on your arms, you can focus on your legs, you can focus on your whole body. You can start focusing on the feeling of energy just flowing within you from top to bottom, just the bubbling kind of energetic feeling within your body. I would recommend sticking to one thing and not just jumping around from these things when you find what works for you. Stick to one thing for that 30 minutes and just be present. Be present within that thing that you're focusing on. As you get better, you can focus on more things at the same time. You can jump around, whatever you want to do. But I would recommend focusing on one thing. Also, another thing to note is 45 minutes of meditation is very, very challenging for new beginners. So I would highly recommend just starting with 5 to 10 minutes. If you really, really want to, do just the Isha Kriya meditation, which is about 15 minutes. And still, that's quite challenging to stay present when you begin. So have a look at Sadhguru's approach to Isha Kriya. I believe he has an app. If I can, I'll make a screenshot and I'll stick it on this video so you can have a look. But his app that has that meditation, which is where I learned it from, and you'll be able to use it yourself. There's a guided meditation specifically for Isha Kriya there, so you can follow it and see how it works for you. And I do another meditation when I go to sleep for another 15 minutes, which makes a total meditative state of an hour throughout the day. So the 15 minutes that I do when I'm in bed is called the healing meditation. Sometimes I do a Isha Kriya, but most of the time I do the healing meditation. All it is just a body scan. You focus on a part of your body. I usually go from bottom to top, so I start with my feet, then my legs, then my hips, my groin, my stomach, my chest, then I go my arms, my hands, my neck, my face, my head, and my crown. This is the sequence of the body parts that I focus on. And on each body part, I focus for about 4 to 5 breaths in and out. You focus on it intently as you can. And what that does is those breaths will expel bad energy from those body parts and will replace it with good energy. And it works really well. For the last year that I've been doing this, I have not been ill. I have not had any injuries. I felt amazing. So I personally think it works really well, and I highly recommend it. Another practice that I do for practicing spirituality and mindfulness, which allows me to clear my mind of emotions that got really stuck throughout the day that I struggle to get rid of, is journaling. Journaling is like emptying a very dirty and murky cup of all the stuff that's built up within you throughout the day, as opposed to pushing it aside and just creating energetic blocks within your chakra system. Journaling allows you to brain dump all those things, evaluate them, accept them non-judgmentally, and push them along. They're just like objects that can be pushed along. One thing that I recommended to do to one of the people that I spoke with that booked a call, which, by the way, if you want to, you can. There's a link underneath to my link tree, which has the booking page. If you want to have a free 1-hour chat with me to discuss spirituality, mindfulness, and how these things can help you. So one thing that we discussed is how to actually observe those thoughts and kind of push them away. So what the non-judgmental way of observing thoughts, acceptance, understanding allows you to do is, when you see the thoughts and when you grab them, you can even literally physically grab the thought. They are sharp, they have very sharp edges, and usually if they stay within you and you don't just let go of them, if they stay within you, those sharp points will poke you everywhere. They'll create tension in your heart, they'll create tension in your stomach, in your mind. Stress will be a big result that will come out of that tension. So what you want to do when you grab that thought, you slightly round the edges by being non-judgmental. You accept the thought. You understand the emotions in the thought. And all these acceptance, understandings, non-judgmental approach towards your thoughts will round the edges. It will make it mega smooth, and you can push that feeling or thought aside, and it will never hurt you again. This is a very, very important part of mindfulness and spirituality, and journaling allows you to do that. Because sometimes it's just very difficult and complicated to take that thought as it happens, that feeling as it happens, and do those things non-judgmentally, accepting the thought and just letting it move along. Journaling allows you to physically write down what those thoughts, emotions, and feelings are, discuss them in your journal, accept them non-judgmentally, and let them pass, just like clouds in the sky. It takes a massive toll off of your mind. It allows you to think clearer, it allows you to function better, it allows you to do your best in the present moment. And your thinking is just not clouded. Your chatter is going to go down because there are not as many things to overthink and plan for, because you have accepted them all non-judgmentally. So journaling is a massive, massive thing. And that, my friends, is everything I do to practice mindfulness and spirituality. That's excluding things like just simply reading and researching about mindfulness and spirituality, talking to people about it, because it's my job. But I want to do it. I want to do all of that. And it's what allows me to sustain my lifestyle. And what a way of life it is. Completely liberating, completely satisfying, just full of joy and happiness and meeting all kinds of people. It's absolutely wonderful. I love it. And I highly recommend it to anybody else. Practicing mindfulness and spirituality is absolutely life-changing. Life-changing in a sense that you actually start living life as opposed to being in the confines of your ego, seeing the world as your ego wants to see it. So this is my practice. This is my daily practice of mindfulness and spirituality. If you find this useful, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to support me further, I have set up a Buy Me a Coffee page where you can buy me a coffee if you want. The link is going to be down below. All the links are going to be down below. If you want to book a free call, if you want to buy me a coffee, If you want to check out any of my previous videos, specifically that meditation one, because that's the one that I'm going to link here, it's all going to be down there. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I have grown so much in this month, to be fair. I have grown so much. The support has been incredible. There's many things in the pipeline. I am working on a course that I'm going to offer to build mindfulness and spirituality for people. I'm working on a Discord server as well, where like-minded people can join and have a chat and discuss mindfulness and spirituality and share their experiences and all that kind of stuff, and have a direct chat with me as well, because I'll be monitoring it at all times. But thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will speak to you next week.